My 28 female husband, 29 male, has a pregnant affair partner and my in-laws and parents are encouraging it. Okay, so me and my husband have been married for a little over 5 years now. We've always wanted to have a big family with lots of kids. The problem was that I just could not get pregnant no matter how many positions or times we've tried. When I went to the doctor last year, I was told that I'm infertile and will not have children naturally, and we should best try for an IVF. Since then, I have been cutting corners and scarping every last dollar I have for an IVF. My husband was initially on board, but early this year he started to get iffy on the IVF. Kept emphasizing adoption and discouraging the IVF, and I definitely considered it, but I want to have a kid of my own blood first before I adopt another child. Well, me, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law, Jane, were chatting on WhatsApp. And I told my sister-in-law the amount of money that I still need to save for multiple rounds of IVF, just in case the first one doesn't work. And if the IVF doesn't work, then I will adopt a child. Jane asked if I was really on board with adopting my husband's illegitimate child. My heart started beating really fast, and I was so confused when my mother-in-law chimed in that I was truly a kind child for forgiving my husband's affair, and even taking in their kid. I made an excuse and hung up the phone when my mind was racing. I tried to convince myself that Jane and mother were playing jokes on me, so I went upstairs to ask my husband for his side of things. He paled rather fast and asked me where I heard it from. I told him Jane and mother told me, and that's when he decided it would be good to tell me what he was thinking. He's been hooking up with one of his old flames, and she got pregnant. He told me that he loved me, but he didn't want to go through extra stress to have a child, so maybe I could forgive them and adopt their kid. Maybe even create a bond with it. I was completely heartbroken by his audacity. He dropped 2 bombs on me that day and expected me to just take it like that? I more or less ran out of the house to my parents' house because I really needed some comfort. I told my parents the whole thing, and they just told me that while the cheating was wrong, I should step up and become a mother to this kid, because they know how much I wanted a kid and how great of a mother I'll be. I can't stop crying because it seems that no one is on my side. I know I should probably try to get a divorce, but my mind is all over the place. My heart hurts so bad that I can't even get out of bed. Can anyone help me? Is there any advice I could get in this? Now for the top advice. The mother of the child is planning on giving up her parental rights? Leave him. He has betrayed your trust. At what point was he planning on telling you? Seriously, I don't believe there would be a right time to bring up his affair child ever. It will hurt no matter when he's gonna bring it up. After the child is born? Still too soon to forgive him while she's still dealing with infertility. After X many years. He kept this a secret while Opie thought they always had a loving and honest relationship. And her whole world is turned upside down, which it already is anyway. The only time someone could bring it up without throwing away the whole relationship would have been way before that. But then again, they could have just asked someone to be a surrogate. But nope. He actually wanted to bang someone else for that. It wasn't about finding an easier alternative. Don't know if surrogacy is actually cheaper than IVF. It was about having intimacy and impregnating another woman for him. That's the thing. He was never going to bring up his affair child. He was going to act as if they were just adopting a child from this woman. Be thankful you didn't already have a child with him before he did this. The audacity to hope the OP will become the mother of his illegitimate affair child. Why will your husband's affair partner give up her parental rights? Instead, she'll try to form a happy family with your husband, who will of course divorce you. If you stay, your future is 1. To be tarred as the evil stepmother in the future when kiddo asks why his actual mom isn't in the picture. Or 2. To accept an open marriage where your husband will impregnate various old flames and leave you to raise their children. Leave ASAP. Run for the hills. Seriously, Opie's not a concubine. My jaw is on the freaking floor right now. OMG. Girl, I'm so sorry this is happening to you right now. It's like some bad movie plot. Your family and his are out of their minds for even considering that. What in the actual hell? That is so beyond warped, man. Oh yeah, let me just raise this kid that my husband humped and some other woman behind my back. I want a baby so bad I'll just take anyone's. That's crazy. Divorce him. Like yesterday. And get yourself into some therapy ASAP so you can talk to someone and get some goddamn support from a non-lunatic. I hope so much things work out for you. Hang in there, sis. Next story is titled, Lost my girlfriend and unborn baby in a car accident over a year ago. My parents keep acting like it was a good thing. I, 24 male, miss her and our baby every day. They're always on my mind. I was with her since we were 16 and wanted to marry her after we had our son. She was over 7 months pregnant when she got into an accident coming back from visiting her family with her brother. My world had never been the same since. I was isolated from everyone after it happened. Didn't want to be part of the rest of the world no more, even more with COVID. Once when I was drinking, I was thinking about joining them, my girl and son, then called my brother and he stayed with me. Finally started therapy but had to stop because of work, and then school was kicking my behind. For the past months, I'm trying to get back into seeing my family more and make myself leave my apartment. My parents keep talking about me starting to go out with other people. They literally tried to set me up with some girl once, and I blew up on them. They keep acting like losing my girlfriend was something good because now I don't have to worry about raising a baby, my son that I wanted and loved more than anything, and can focus on my life as a single man. Every time they bring it up, they talk about how I wouldn't have been able to do anything with a baby, and I should appreciate that now I don't have that burden anymore. I try so hard to ignore them and change the subject, because then it turns into an argument and I'm the one who ends up dealing with negative feelings. Many times, I tell them not to talk about my girlfriend or my son like that because they meant everything to me. I tell them how it hurts. They don't mention it all the time, just when my dating life comes up. It's hurting me more now and I don't know how to get them to just stop. Or what better way can I express how much it hurts me when they talk like that? Since what I'm saying now don't seem to be working, what's a better way to get through to them how messed up their words are? Your parents are incredibly cold-hearted. Maybe seek comfort elsewhere. Friends? I love my friends, but they're not people I can talk to about this. None of them lost someone or are parents. That's why I wanted to have more support from my parents since they actually are parents. I get that, but they have demonstrated to you that they aren't capable of giving you the support you need. You may really benefit from a grief support group, perhaps one geared toward grieving parents, pregnancy loss, loss of a significant other, or complicated grief. Ask your therapist if he or she knows of any. Support groups are wonderful intentional communities if you can find one. I'm so sorry you're suffering through this alone. I'm so sorry that you have that from your family, and sorry for your loss. If I were you, I would not want to see them at all. It really comes down to whether you want a relationship with them still, and whether they want a relationship with you. My way of dealing with it would be just to leave every time they bring it up and tell them why I'm leaving. If you cannot respect the people I love, I do not want to hear another word from you, even if I love you as family, which I would start doubting if I still do. I'm very sorry for your loss. I suspect your parents are attempting to get you to look forward instead of back, but what they're doing isn't working and only making things worse. My guess is that this isn't malicious, or maybe I just like to believe it isn't. If you haven't talked to a therapist about it, maybe you should consider it. It might be helpful both in dealing with your loss and your parents. My parents weren't happy when I told them we were having a baby. They wanted me to be married and all that, so unfortunately I think they do feel it's really a good thing. I don't know about therapy right now. Next story. Found out that my 18 sister stole my boyfriend's keys, phone, $200, and medication, but my parents sided with her when I confronted her and threatened to cut me off if I tell my boyfriend. I don't know what to do. I, female 25, have a boyfriend, male 26, who suffers from a medical condition and pays for medication. He works hard despite his illness to help with rent and to afford medication and car repair. We visit my parents' house regularly. My boyfriend loves my parents and my 18 sister and loves being around them. His parents are both deceased and he calls my family warm and loving. And they love him too, so there have been no issues, except for a few days ago when we were at my parents' house for dinner. My sister stayed in her room the whole time except for when dinner was ready. Usually she'd sit with us to chatter. I thought it was strange of her, but didn't overthink it. My boyfriend came back from the bathroom to find that his phone and medication and $200 in cash were gone, even his car keys. We were so confused, but kept looking all over the house. My sister came downstairs asking what we were looking for. We told her and she didn't say anything, just went upstairs. We couldn't find them. My boyfriend was so confused, we ended up taking an Uber home and left a car at my parents' house. My boyfriend kept worrying about going to the doctor to get his medication, and it was difficult. We also struggled with a car key. I visited my parents' house the next day to conduct extensive search. My sister was at school at the time. I entered her room and surprisingly found all of my boyfriend's missing things. I was in complete shock. I showed my mom and she began rationalizing and making excuses for my sister. I was so mad I ended up confronting my sister after she got home from school, and mom begged me to lie to my boyfriend and tell him I found his stuff in the bathroom cabinet after I mentioned that my boyfriend has the right to press charges. But I refused to lie to him. I told her she shouldn't encourage stealing, especially since my sister gave zero reasons for why she stole from my boyfriend. Mom got upset and involved my dad, who agreed and said that if I shouldn't agree on and encourage my boyfriend to press charges, and said I should stick to the bathroom cabinet lie. But I insisted in letting my boyfriend know so he could realize that the house he enters isn't safe for him anymore. Mom lost it on me when my sister started crying, saying I'll ruin her relationship with my boyfriend. Mom said she couldn't believe I chose to side with a guy I've known for only a year over my sister, and started bad-mouthing him. But he doesn't even know what's going on around him. He cares so much about my family and always wants a good relationship with them, but I'm not sure if I should tell him. My parents said they'll cut me out and no longer welcome us in the house if I tell my boyfriend, and he ends up getting police involved. They said my sister doesn't deserve to be rejected by universities over a stupid mistake that she already apologized for. Edit. I don't think it's the first time she's told based on my mom's reaction. She should be mad at her, not me. She should be talking about consequences to her, not me. Mom actually thinks it's my sister versus my boyfriend in the conflict, and keeps shaming me for siding with the wronged party. If my boyfriend stole from my sister, I'd make sure to tell her and feel very ashamed and disappointed in him. But Mom has always been overprotective of my sister, no matter what she does, which is wrong. Now for the advice. Tell your boyfriend. He needs to at least know about it. What he chooses to do is up to him, but don't enable your sister's behavior. Pretty soon she will be stealing from her family. What in the actual hell is wrong with your parents? And your sister? You absolutely should tell your boyfriend and let him make the choice in pressing charges. How old is your sister? Old enough to know better than to steal, I'm guessing? This is a serious thing. She didn't just take a few bucks from his wallet. $200 is a lot of money. And stealing his medication is a federal offense, I'm pretty sure. She gave you zero reasons? She just suddenly decided to steal all of this from him? That's why my parents are concerned, especially my mom. I was able to retrieve the items, but the cash was not returned. The money wasn't there, and my sister didn't say where she took it. I feel so ashamed of what my sister did and how parents were defending her, and bad-mouthing my boyfriend who considers them and sees them as his family. This might even affect my relationship with him. I honestly cannot blame him for any action he decides to take, because I know how much he works hard to get his medication and save money for car repair. Last story is titled, My female 20s, soon-to-be sister-in-law, female 30s, is planning to blindside us with a pregnancy announcement at our rehearsal dinner this weekend. Am I the crazy one? I just need advice from people who don't know me, as I cannot discuss with family or friends that know the individual. My soon-to-be mother-in-law called me this morning to inform that my soon-to-be sister-in-law called her and told her she is 5 to 6 weeks pregnant, so she thinks, and that she is planning to announce it at our rehearsal dinner. She told mother-in-law not to tell anybody else, that they want to blindside us and surprise everyone altogether. Thankfully, my mother-in-law likes me enough to warn me ahead of time with this information, but now I am not sure what to do with it. Now, for some background, we are having an under 40 guests wedding. Everyone is included for the rehearsal dinner, including our friends and my own family. Since we are having such a small wedding, I have my 3 soon-to-be sister-in-laws as my bridesmaids. The pregnant sister-in-law has been a thorn in my side. She hated the dress color I wanted. She hated the shoe size adjusted. She's mad because I'm taking away from a weekend off. I have tried to be gracious in all of this and pick and choose my battles. She also screamed at me one day that I was taking too much attention for the wedding away from her weekend of seeing family she doesn't see often, but doesn't make a point to go see them. She also was mad when we had our daughter 3 years ago, because we had a first grandbaby/great-grandbaby. So there is a long list of things I've done to apparently victimize her specifically. And at this point, I'm just worn down. I feel as though I should either say something to my mother-in-law to say something to her, or do I go to her directly? I think she sees her peeing on a stick as an opportunity to upstage our entire wedding and bring the attention back to her. This is her first pregnancy, and previously, when discussing babies with them, I was informed she didn't want to start trying until fall 2021. So I imagine this is somewhat of an, oops, guess we're doing this sooner. When we had our daughter, we waited until I was 15 weeks to announce anything. So I'm not sure why she feels the need to do so at 5 to 6 weeks. We're also all staying after the wedding to go to a resort for 4 days with the entire family, that she could use as an opportunity to tell them. What would you do in this situation? Do I say something directly to her? Do I just let her make her announcement? To be honest, let your fiancé handle things. He can call his sister and tell her that if there's any pregnancy announcements at the dinner, she will be escorted out and not be part of the wedding at all. She also screamed at me one day that I was taking too much attention for the wedding away from her weekend of seeing family she doesn't see often, but doesn't make a point to go see them. She also was mad when we had our daughter 3 years ago because we had first grandbaby/great-grandbaby. So there is a long list of things I've done to apparently victimize her specifically, and at this point I'm just worn down. I'd strongly reconsider having this woman as a bridesmaid. OP to husband, to mother-in-law, to sister-in-law. Personally, I handle my family and let my wife handle her family. It just makes sense. I would also nudge mother-in-law to tell her it would be unwise to spread the news this early. As someone who has had a number of miscarriages, it is really hard to be getting congratulations while dealing with a loss. When you spread it that early, it generally gets a life of its own and is spreading further than you expect. Have mother-in-law scare her a bit. She seems like a self-centered diva to me from what you have said. It may need some stronger boundaries. Congratulate her on Facebook. Nuclear option. I was coming here to say exactly this. I just heard the news. Congratulations, sister-in-law. We're so excited for the new edition. Maybe add in that if being in the wedding party is too stressful, that they would understand completely and assure they would be happy if she attends. If she gets mad that you announced it, feign ignorance and tell her you understand that her hormones are probably the cause of her emotional upheaval.